Hello everyone. In my previous video I told you that my next video would be about fungus gnats. Today I decided to make this video. I started having fungus gnat problem when I bought my orchids, new orchids, and I showed you those orchids in my video how to avoid bud blast during the winter time. Before that I never had fungus gnat problem, and I didn't even know what is fungus gnat. I never had fungus gnat problem before that, before I bought those orchids. Among those orchids, there were orchids which were planted in cocoa chips, and something started flying, and I paid attention to that. In my comments, people used to ask before I bought those orchids. Some people asked me how to get rid of fungus gnats. Before that, orchids, I didn't know what is fungus gnat, and I didn't have any clue about them. That's why I didn't know what to answer and how to treat, how to fight with them. I have to tell you something, that before I had that problem, but I didn't know what kind of problem I was having. 2 years ago, I planted all my house plants in compost. I make compost myself outside, and I know that in compost flowers grow well, and I decided to plant all of my house plants in compost before taking them inside. Some of my plants, flowers, they were inside, and some of them they were outside, and I repotted them. I changed their soil, I changed into the compost. I planted all my flowers in compost and I took them in, and most of my flowers died because of fungus gnats and fruit flies. I had lots of them during the winter in my house. Most of flying things started fly in my house, and I didn't know that they were fungus gnats. And what I did, I used this fly ribbon, which you can find in Walmart. It's very cheap. There are 10 packs in this box, and you can use that. I used this. I put on top of my flower pots, on every shelf. I put this, and this ribbon, it caught all my fungus gnats and fruit flies, everything which was flying that time. My flowers which were planted in a compost, I used garden soil. It's from my garden. I put on top some garden soil. Usually, fungus gnat and fruit flies, they lay their eggs on top part of the pot, on the soil, and they develop. And when the top part is dry, they don't like dryness. That's why they cannot survive. That eggs, they cannot develop and survive in this kind of dry soil. This is what you can use for your flowers. It will help you. And let's talk about orchids, which is most important, and it's more difficult, complicated problem. Most of people, they have this problem and they don't know how to get rid of this problem. They write in my comments that they tried all kind of ways, and but nothing helped them, and what to do, how to deal with this problem. After I bought those orchids, which I showed you how to avoid bud blast in winter time, in that video I showed you those orchids. After buying that orchids, I started having fungus gnats, and they were few, 2-3 of them, and in a week they developed so fast. I started having fungus gnat problem from that time, and I had millions and millions and millions fungus gnats. And after I found my orchids from trash, I started having all kind of problems: fungus gnat problem, mealybug problem, and you know, all kind of diseases. I had this here with these orchids, and I'm still dealing with that problems. Okay, I'm talking about fungus gnats. With these orchids, fungus gnats came to my house until I, disinfected the old moss and planted them again. Planted my orchids again in those moss. That those fungus gnats, they developed, because the house was hot, and my AC stopped working. It was broken. I don't know, for 2 months we didn't have AC, and my house was like, I don't know how to explain. It was hot, and in hot weather they develop so fast, and I had this problem. And let's explain you how I dealt with that problem and why I don't have any fungus gnat now. I use rainwater for my orchids to water them. I use rainwater, and for my other plants, outside and inside plants, I use rainwater. And in those rain barrels, I use these Mosquito Dunks. I think most of you already know this thing. I put in my rain barrels these dunks, and it keeps mosquitoes away. It kills the larvae from mosquitoes, and they cannot develop in that water. During the winter time, we don't use this because we don't have mosquitoes outside. That's why I had that fungus gnat problem in winter time. And since we started using these Mosquito Dunks in my rain barrels, I stopped having, I started having fungus gnats less. Now I have them less, and you can think, is it all? If it's enough for getting rid of fungus gnats. No, it's not enough. You have to fight, from different way with them. This is the first way which you can fight. You can rid of fungus gnats. And here I have the second thing which can help you. I water with this water, I put this in my water, and I water my plants with, from this water. And I put on every shelf, I put this ribbon, fly ribbon. You see, I will take this and will show you how many fungus gnats it caught. Look at this. Do you see? Everything which flies, it can catch. And even mealybug flies. Mealybugs, they don't only crawl, they fly also. And this will help from mealybugs and fungus gnats at the same time. And what I do, okay, let me put it here for now. Later I will put it back. Okay, yes. And now I will show you other ingredients which I use. This is first thing, this is second thing. You can find from Walmart. It's $2 or $1. It's very cheap thing but very effective. You have to buy this. It will help you a lot. And some people, they say that they use fan, and fungus gnats, they don't like fan, and if it's on all the time, fungus gnats, they go away some way, I don't know. But this thing, it didn't help with my fungus gnats, probably because I have, you know, millions of them. That's why it couldn't help. If you have few of them, maybe it will help. The fan can help. And this is the third ingredient what I used for my fungus gnats, flying insect, you know. This is for flying insects. And what I do every time when I water my orchids, I take off from the shelf, I put them on the table, and every time I wash this, you know, protecting things from, I protect with this thing, I don't know how to call it. I protect my shelf, you know, and I take this and I wash it every time. After washing, I put it back and I spray, you know, chlorine, you know, I spray this, or you can use chlorine bleach. You can use this kind of thing, and I spray it on my shelf, and I don't wipe. I leave it on the shelf until it gets dry by itself. Every time when I water, I take them my flowers and I empty my shelf. I wash this thing, and after washing I put it back, and again, you know, I put this Lysol or chlorine bleach, I spray it there and I leave it. It kills, you know, most of time the fungus gnats, they go to they like to sit on the shelf also. They hide here and they stick there because we have chlorine bleach there, and they die. This is third thing. This is third, and I will tell you how I use this. After I put chlorine or this all-purpose Lysol, I put there, I spray there. I spray this, you know, I spray around the shelf everywhere, because, you know, fungus gnats and mealybug flies, they hide. They like to hide, you know, here on top of the lamp, and here where you don't see. Here they like to hide, and you know, after some time they come again and they attack your plants. That's why I use this thing. I spray everywhere, and I put my flowers again, you know, on their places on the shelf. And this is the fifth ingredient, which helped me a lot with fighting against fungus gnats. This is wood charcoal. I showed you how to make wood charcoal in one of my videos. And you know what I do? I don't use this kind of big pieces. I will show you, you know, under, you know, here in the bottom part of the bucket, I have small pieces, this kind of pieces, which is with ash. I showed you how to take this wood charcoal and put in water, and after that I pour the water, and the wood charcoal stays with wood ash and charcoal, you know, mixed. Here is mixed charcoal and wood ash, everything together here. And what I do, I put some charcoal on top of my orchid pot, like this. See, I cover the top medium with this charcoal, and whenever the fungus gnats want to go there and lay their eggs, they don't like this charcoal and wood ash, and they cannot survive in this kind of medium. And what I do, the next thing what I do, every time when I water, I stopped watering my orchids from the top part, and I stopped watering these orchids by dipping them in water. Usually I water my other orchids, you know, see, I put there in two pots. They have this kind of clear pot, and on top they have decorative pot, and I fill that pots with water, and I leave it for 2-3 hours, and after some time I empty, you know, I pour the water. And now these orchids I stopped watering by that way. I don't put them in a container with water to water them. I just put water in this plate. I fill this plate and I water this orchid this way, and this water slowly goes up and it makes equally moist. And you know, the fungus gnats, they cannot attack, you know, from the top part, because we have wood charcoal. In the orchids we cannot use this garden soil, and that's why it's better to use wood charcoal with wood ash mixed, you know. Here you see the small pieces. Even if you don't have small pieces for charcoal, small pieces, you can crush these big pieces and put on top of the medium of your orchid, see, and it will help you to fight with fungus gnats. And this is what I wanted to tell you. And you know, you have to leave these orchids until, you know, the topsoil gets dry. Don't water them often. You see, not once, a week ago I watered this orchid, and still it's moist, but you cannot see because I have wood charcoal here from the see, from the sphagnum moss. You can see that it's still moist, and whenever I see that the sphagnum moss is completely dry and I see that the water is less here, it goes down, I water this orchid again, but the medium has to be dry before I water it again. This way I fight it with my fungus gnats. Now I don't have any, and on top of the shelf you can put 2 or 1 this flying, you know, fly ribbon, and in every room I put this ribbon. Wherever I grow my plants I put this, and even on the windowsill you see I have that ribbon, and it's full with fungus gnats. We will show you closer. Each of them, they have millions and millions fungus gnats, and in every room I put these ribbons, and I'm watering with this water where I put Mosquito Dunks. It's helping a lot. And this Lysol, every time you water, you clean your shelf and you spray this flying insect spray. Sometimes I don't take out my flowers from the shelf, I just spray the top part. I don't I go far from my flowers and I spray like this, I direct this part up, and I spray like this towards the ceiling of the shelf like this. I spray, you know, and this way I spray, and this also helps. And the Lysol, when I spray here, next time when I want to wash this plastic, I find lots of fungus gnats here on top of the plastic. When I wash it, I found millions and, you know, fungus gnats. And even this water, when I want to water, now I don't see them. See, it's clean, it's free from fungus gnats. But you know, when I had them a lot, I used to see here big fat fungus gnats in the water. What they do when they turn into the flies, they want to come out through these holes from the pots. They come out and they try to fly, and when they try to come out, they fall into the water and they die here in the water. And this also helps. This is complex therapy, what I wanted to show you. I hope this video will help you to fight with your fungus gnats. If you have 1 or 2 orchid or plant, it's not problem. You can easily change the soil or the medium and toss that soil or medium. But when you deal with hundreds and hundreds of orchids and other plants, you have to know exactly what to do, what can help you. But all these problems, it worse that when your flowers bloom for you, you will forget about the problems when they make your eyes happy. See, this orchid is blooming again, it's continuing, you know, it finished blooming and now it started blooming from the tip. And here, this orchid is making my eyes happy. This is fragrant, it's so pretty, and see how it's beautiful, gorgeous orchid. All these problems I forget when I see these beautiful flowers, when they make me happy. You know, these problems worse that I saved these orchids and they're thanking me back with their flowers. They try to make me happy. See, these flower spikes, they grew in my house, and see how it's continuing. Now it's forming new buds and blooming. I hope that this video benefited you and you learned something from me. If you are new in this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, please put thumbs up. We will discuss more problems with you. Thank you for watching. Bye. See you next time.